Happy Wrestlemania Day, everybody. J-Dub has returned once again to give you exactly what you want, which of course would be more of me, my amazing backdrop that's behind me, giving you my thoughts, my opinions, and of course my award-winning expert analysis on a certain topic subject. Well, hopefully today, since it's Wrestlemania, I figured I'd do a wrestling-related video. I don't do a lot of them as I'm not that big of a wrestling fan anymore. I'm actually going to count down my top 50 favorite wrestlers of all time. So it could take a little bit longer. Obviously, I'm going to try to get through it as quick as possible, so I won't really be going to details on all the people that I selected. And if you're looking for guys like John Cena, The Undertaker, Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, and Roman Reigns, they didn't make the list. So with that being said, I'm going to do my top 50 favorite wrestlers of all time. And then later on today, hopefully, I'll do my top 50 favorite female performers of all time, just to kind of differentiate them. Actually, top 25, not top 50. So let's get started. I'm going to go through this as quick as possible. The 50th person on the list, Chris Masters, a guy who was entertaining and they should have done a lot more with. 49, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! He wouldn't have made the list had I not have met him in 2004. 48, Braun Strowman, a guy who they could do so much more with, but they haven't. He's got the it factor. 47, Taz. His WWE debut at the Royal Rumble in 2000 was awesome. 46, Seth freaking Rollins. He's going down the list a little bit, but I still like Rollins. I think he's a really good performer in the ring. 45, our first dead wrestler on the list, Brian Pillman. Crazy, psychotic. That scene with the gun and Stone Cold was crazy. 44, another dead wrestler, and a lot of people will not agree with this choice, but in the ring-wise, he was one of the best wrestlers of all time. Chris Benoit. Obviously, I don't condone what he supposedly did to his wife and his kid, but as far as a wrestler goes, he's 44th on my list. He's fallen quite a bit down, actually. 43rd, Dolph Ziggler. 42nd, Drew McIntyre, another guy where they could do so much more with, but they haven't. But he's got it. He's got the look, definitely. 41, Matt Morgan, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan, a guy who was really impressive in his WWE debut, but they didn't do a lot with him. And then he went to TNA, which I didn't watch a lot of, but Matt Morgan's a guy that I paid attention to, and I hope he comes back some year to WWE. 40, Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts. 39, another guy where they could do a lot with, but they haven't yet, EC3. I just like EC3. I don't know. There's something about him. 38, a great character that definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Gangrel. His entrance music was fucking awesome. 37, Bobby Lashley. My man, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's awesome. His look, his athletic ability. Okay, his mic skills kind of suck, but Lashley makes the list. 36, Kevin Owens. 35, another guy that's no longer with us, Sean O'Hare. Not a lot of people would have him on their list, but I just liked his look, and I thought that he could have done a lot in the business. Unfortunately, he won't get a chance to anymore. 34, Hall of Famer Edge. It's too bad that his career got cut short by a neck injury. 33, Brock Lesnar. 32, The Miz, and The Miz obviously is going up the list because The Miz is just awesome. He really is. 31, Batista. Another guy who I met, so if I didn't meet him, he might have been lower on the list, but I think he would make the list even if I wouldn't have met him. 30, another dead wrestler, Test. I loved his Stacy Keibler, his pairing with Stacy Keibler. It was awesome. I love my Testicles. 29, Triple H, The Game. Another guy who I met him, probably would be lower on the list had I not met him. 38, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, awesome tag team wrestler, good singles performer, and great on the mic. 27, Rey Mysterio Jr. Although Rey, later on in his first run with WWE, I couldn't stand, but his stuff on WCW, and then since he came back, I like Rey Mysterio. He's a talented performer. What can I say? 26, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. The house that AJ Styles built. I think so. 25, had to include this guy on the list. He's great in the ring. He's crazy as hell. Shane McMahon. 24, a guy who WWE seriously dropped the ball with. He could have been so much more, and hopefully someday he is, and that would be Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow was awesome. The intellectual savior of the masses. Awesome. 23, Rob Van Dam. 22, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, rest in peace. Definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. 21, Chris Jericho, another guy who I met who wasn't as cool as Ric Flair, Batista, and Triple H. But nonetheless, Chris Jericho makes the list. Yeah, he makes my list, you stupid idiot. You just made the list, Chris Jericho. 20, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And I'm talking about Hulk Hogan from the NWO, and then Hulk Hogan from, you know, when he came back to WWE and became a good guy again. His run in the 80s, I couldn't stand his run in the, you know, late 80s or mid 80s to late 80s to early 90s and whatnot. Couldn't stand Hulk Hogan, but Hollywood Hogan was fucking awesome. And then when he came back and became a good guy and gets the loud pops, love him. 19, the total package, Lex Luger. Another guy they could have done a lot more with, but they didn't. But I still like Luger from his WWF or WWF and WCW days. 18, another dead wrestler. Could have done a lot more with. Tragic Family, the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. 17, another surprise on the list, but I like this guy. Maybe it's because they put an NWO shirt on him, but he was entertaining as all hell. His first match in WWE, or WWF at the time, wasn't the greatest with Booker T, but Buff Bagwell. Because I'm buffing on the stuff, and you can't get enough. 16, another guy that WWE dropped the ball with. Hopefully, he comes back, and you know, they make him a star. John Morrison. Or Johnny Impact, they call him now. Or Johnny Nitro. Or whatever they want to call him. Johnny Mundo. 15, arguably the franchise of WCW. Sting. Wish his WWE run was a little bit more impressive, but it was good that he finally did something with WWE. 14, this is a shocker, folks, but I really like this guy, and I'm glad that he finally came back. Shelton Benjamin is awesome. He's done some of the most impressive stuff that I've ever seen done in a WWE ring. So, Shelton Benjamin, number 14. Number 13, the $1 Million Man. I can't do the laugh, but Ted DiBiase. Number 12, another dead wrestler, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Let me tell you something, Hulk Hogan. Another dead wrestler coming in at number 11, the Ravishing One, Rick Rude. Another dead wrestler coming in at number 10. Should have won the WWF Heavyweight title, but he didn't. But he was awesome in the ring, and he was great. Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Number 9, Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you want me to do the final 8 on this list, give me a hell yeah. What? What? Number 8, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, a 2-time Hall of Famer and Mr. Wrestlemania. Number 7, Scott Hall, the bad guy, Razor Ramon. Hey, Chico, say hello to the bad guy. Number 6, the Viper, Randy Orton. Hey, there's nothing you can say. No, I hear voices in my head. I liked Orton a lot. I've liked him since he debuted it, but he was higher on the list. He's actually dropped a few spots because he gets boring at times, but his character's pretty good right now. Number 5, one of my all-time favorites, and he's always been, Psycho Sid. That leg injury that he had was freaking nuts. I'm surprised that he made it back to wrestling after that. And when he came back a couple of years ago when Heath Slater was doing his Legend Challenge, that was epic. Number 4 on the list, 2-time Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart. And what happened last night at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony with that fan coming in the ring and tackling Bret Hart, what the fuck? It's going to take a lot more than that to put down the Hitman. Bret Hart, awesome as hell. Number 4 on my list. Number 3, this is going to come as a big surprise, and now he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's as deserving. He falls in the Coco Beware Bushwhacker category, but I think he's done more than them. I think. But Brutus, the Barber, Beefcake, Number 2 on my list. Arguably one of the best of all time. Possibly my favorite at times. At times he was my favorite. And the reason why I didn't like Hulk Hogan back in the 80s and early 90s is because of my second favorite wrestler of all time. The Ultimate Warrior. And at WrestleMania 6, when he beat Hogan, that moment was epic. I loved it tears of joy, definitely for that. And my favorite wrestler of all time, the most electrifying man of all of sports entertainment today, The Rock is number 1 on my list. Hilarious, good in the ring, good at selling shit. The Rock is the great one. And I hope he has another match or two left in him so he can even be more greater than he already is. So that's the list. I hope you liked it. Again, it's a little long, but I wanted to include a lot of guys. And for you that are mad that The Undertaker was on the list, I don't like The Undertaker that much. I don't like John Cena that much. I don't like... Goldberg almost made the list because of his second run with WWE. Diamond Dallas Page almost made the list. I almost put him at like number 50, 49, but I just didn't. But Ric Flair almost didn't make the list. So you got to factor in that. And, you know, for some of you that are mad that some of the guys that I didn't name, like Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, they could make it someday. Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed the list. If you want to include some of your favorite wrestlers of all time, go ahead and leave that down in the comments portion of this. Like the video, thumb it up. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and I really appreciate it. And, of course, I'll be back again later today with another video counting down my top 25 favorite female performers in WWE, even WCW history. So, hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again soon with another. Peace.